Hello again, lesson 6 homework. And our objective for this lesson was to find 1, 10, and 100,000 more than a given number. So we're looking at patterns, we're looking to add two numbers and change the place value. And it's also our 10 times rule from changing from one place value to another. So we're kind of combining all the things that we've learned from lessons 1 through 5 into lesson 6. So you do need to carry all of the knowledge and strategies and skills and models that you've used in the other lessons, and we are going to be using them in all the lessons that follow. So the first 25 lessons that we do in Eureka Math are used all through 4th grade and in 5th grade and beyond. So it's important to use the models and the strategies over and over and over again so they just become part of your math vocabulary, part of your math toolkit that you will use for many, many years. So let's begin. So it tells you to label the place value chart. So we did that: 1, 10, hundreds, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million. And then to use place value discs to find the sum or difference. So sum is the answer to an addition problem, and difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. So either the number is getting larger, more, or it's getting less, lower. So 100,000 less, and then we use our discs, our place value discs or digits, to make the number 560,313. And it's 100,000 less. So we're just changing the 100,000s place. We don't have to change the other digits because we have all zeros. So we're just changing the 100,000s place one less. So instead of 560,313, it would be 460,313. So it's important, if you're just changing 100,000 less, you only have to change the 100,000s place. 10,000 more, so we're only going to be changing the 10,000s place. 300,000, now this is tricky because it's expanded notation. 300,000, 90,000, 5,000, 40. And 10,000 more, so we can circle the 10,000s, which is 9, and we're adding another 10,000. And this is a little tricky because when you have 10 10,000s, that gives you a 100,000. So actually, the 100,000s place will change because if you add 1 to 9, you get 10. And when we have 10 in a place value, we need to regroup to the next place value. So this one was a little tricky because it's actually 405,000 because we read the whole period together, 405,040. So it's important to use a place value chart because that does tell you, well, I had 9, oh, I have 10, I need to move to the next place. So it's important to use your place value chart. 447,000, so 447,077 is how much more than 347,077? And when you write them near each other, you can see that it's just the 100,000s place that is different. So that means it's 100,000 more because all of the other digits are the same. The only place that is different is the 100,000s place. So it's 100,000 more than 347,000. And for these problems, you can actually rewrite the problems vertically underneath or try to do them in your head. So if you have 76,960 and you're adding 100,000, you just add that 100,000. If you're taking away 10,000, you know you're only changing the 10,000s place, which is 4. We're taking 1 away, which would make it 3. Excuse me. Now this is tricky because you see the equal sign is here. And we're seeing what are we adding to this number to make it this number. And the 100,000s place is the same. The 10,000s place is the same. What's different? The thousands place. So we know it's going to be 1,000. And we have 13,097 and we're taking away 1,000. So you just look in the 1,000s place and take 1 away, which will give, instead of 13,000, we'll have 12,000. We're only going to be looking in the 10,000s place to add So in the 10,000s place, we have a 4. So 40,000 will change to 50,000. So we only have to look in that place. And again, the equal sign is here. We have to see how these two numbers are different. And look what's different. Already we know it's the 100,000s place. So if we just look at the place value, that's all we need to change. This is patterns, and this is looking at place value. And we can see that in all of the kind of not dark, because I added in, the numbers that are dark are the ones I added in, I saw that we have 140,000 for all of these numbers. And what's different is the thousands place. And it's going from 5 to 7 to 9. So we have to fill in the blanks, which would be 6. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up 10. So we need to say that the numbers are increasing by 1,000 each time. Okay? And we can explain it with our place value chart because we could see that only the thousands place was changing. Okay? The same here. If we look at these numbers, we can see that they all have 700,000, 700,000, oh, 800,000, 60,000, up 70,000. So we can know that it's changing in the 10,000s place. So 764,000, 774,000, 784,000, 794,000, and then 804. And we need to go down to 754. And I made a place value chart here and did two of the numbers that were next to each other to see what was different. And it was the 10,000s place that was different. So we know that the numbers are increasing or getting larger by 10,000. And the same here, we have two numbers next to each other. So I put them in the place value chart and saw that it was the 100,000s place that was different. And all the other digits were the same. So I know that the numbers are increasing by 100,000 each time. And you can complete the pattern. So making the place value chart really does help if you write the numerals in the correct place values. You can see, oh, it's the 100,000s place that's different. It's hard to see when they're lined up in these boxes, but when you make them into the place value chart and you put them on top of each other, it's much easier to see. And I always look for numbers that are next to each other to see what's different. And when you write the numbers in, you can see that it's the 10,000s place that's going to change. And this is a little tricky because the numbers are getting smaller, but they're going to get larger going in the opposite direction to fill in the boxes. But moving from left to right, the numbers are decreasing by 10,000. So you can see how the place value chart helps a great deal. And here's our word problem. In 2012, Charlie earned an annual salary of $54,908. At the beginning of 2013, his annual salary was raised by $10,000, so only the $10,000 spot. How much is he going to earn in 2013? Well, it increased 1,000, and 5 plus 1 is 6. So he will earn $64,098 in 2013. So you can see how using the models and the tools and the strategies that we've learned from lessons 1 through 5 help you in all of the other problems that you work on. So it's important, and I'm sure that at this point, you are making your place value charts much quicker than you did at the beginning. I know I am in doing the homework. It's much easier for me to make my place value charts, even on the computer. So you're getting better and better every day. And Mrs. Crosby and I are so proud of you, and we're so happy you're in our class, and we're having a great time. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.